Alright, welcome to the stream. Tonight on twitch.tv/TophBBQ with no underscore. I don't know why I'm spelling out my URL like you guys aren't already here. I am gonna dial Zain in, and I'm gonna teach him how to play chess from the ground up. He is being set up to play a show match. He's excited about learning chess. He's never really played before. I think he started pretty much from the ground up. I'm getting him an official coaching session tomorrow with a really good coach called Miodrag Perunovic, aka the Butcher. But for tonight, I thought I'd show him the absolute basics, find out how much he knows about the pieces, get him prepared a little bit for when he has a more official coaching session tomorrow with Mio. All right, do you have a we don't have that much time. We got half an hour.
Half an hour, yeah.
Half an hour. Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna have a more official session tomorrow. Do you have a chess.com account, or do you have an account on any of these websites?
Do.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's a Zain Melee.
Zain Melee? Oh, that's so sick. All right, let me pull up let me get a fucking window here. Let me see if I can make a fucking, because I think what I can do is I can make an analysis board where we can both drag the pieces around, and then we don't even have to fucking yeah, let me try to do that real quick. I haven't done this before, but I think I can figure it out, because chess.com is an amazing website that if I was to partner with a chess website to run a tournament, I would probably pick them, just hypothetically speaking. You got to make sure Zane's in the live chess place. Really? Okay, I guess maybe try on the left menu, there's play, and then you go into that sub menu, and the second one down says live chess. So maybe and now it says Zain Melee is now online. Cool.
Okay.
That's fucking sweet. I just saw that. And then boom, add, and then invite selected.
Add.
Now maybe
accept.
Let's fucking go, dude. All right, that's sick. All right, can you drag a fucking piece for white? See if this works. I can see your moves. Oh, that's so sick. And you see me doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, is this what you play? Do you play this?
Can drag it back.
Yeah, you can go like right and left and shit. Do you see it going back and forth?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's dope.
The natural. Chat has already started to make how did they see the game so differently jokes. All right, perfect. Good. All right, so you know all the pieces move, it sounds like. You played with Caitlin.
Yeah, so the rook moves all the way up or all the way to the right or left.
Yep. Can you see my arrows?
Yes.
By the way, you hold right click to draw those. It's like a streamer thing. Streamers love doing that because you can show shit to your chat. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold right click.
If you want to clear all of them, like if you draw a bunch of shitty arrows and you want to clear all of them, you can just left click anywhere on the board and it'll clear them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So Horsey,
that's the first thing I taught you. I must probably a bad teacher if that's the first thing I taught you. But yeah, Horsey goes. He does like little L shapes.
Yeah. Okay, so he can do like one up and two horizontally, and then two up and one horizontally, right?
So I'm gonna show you something, and this is like the first. Okay, we don't have that much time, so I'm just gonna teach you. We'll talk about the rest of the pieces too, and then bishop. You know how bishops move. That one's easy.
Yep.
It's diagonal. Yep. And then queens are rooks and bishops fused, so they can do
right 8
directions. Yeah.
Yep.
Oops, sorry. And then the king gives one square in any. Yeah. Okay, so the fucking thing is like okay, so we're trying to be, if I was starting you off, how do you start your games? All
right, so on my third game, I started moving D, what is that? D2 up to
D4. Nice.
Yeah, and then I'd clear up my what you call it, bishop.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good that you already saw that. It's so good that you already noticed that.
Okay, cool.
That's such a good instinct to have.
Is that an opener? Like, is that a legit thing?
Great move. So, okay, a couple things here. That I think that by far the two most common moves for white when they play first is this move and this move, E4 and D4.
Okay.
These two. And they, I would say like the one thing, if you're ever like, it's like a when in doubt kind of thing, something that both these moves do that's really good. One, you already pointed out, they help your pieces get out. Because you want to activate these guys. Like, this game is all about like space control, and it's like, think about like this bishop right now can move to 0 squares.
Right.
But if you move this, it can move to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So it basically is now way more valuable. And it's all about basically, like, if you don't ever have anything direct to do, like the secondary thing, it's kind of like in Melee, like dash dancing a good spot or short hopping a good spot, just threading something. You just want to like, it's like, I don't have anything to do right now. Let me just make my pieces more active. It's just like, yep. So these moves are both really good because they control the center, and that's a really important concept. It's really good just to control the center, and to really concretely demonstrate why that is. And I think this is just like a great thing for beginners to think about. Like let's imagine, for example, the knight. Okay, so imagine this knight was on. I can't move it to this square right now, but imagine the knight was on this square h1 all the way in the corner of the board.
Sure.
So like, it's kind of hard to get the knight there, but yeah, imagine it's literally on this square, right?
Yep.
How many squares can this knight move to?
So he can go 2 up and then to the left, and then so he can go to 2 separate squares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
2 squares. Now let's imagine this knight. I'm just gonna play a random move for black. Now it's here. How many squares can this knight move to?
Oh, dude, so many.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a really common, it's like basically like one of the most fundamental things in chess is just like, it's all about space control. Like you want to put your pieces on squares and you want to like kind of coordinate your pieces such that they just control a lot of space. It restricts your opponent's movement, and then eventually you can start setting threats up. So that's just like a really fun, so it's awesome that you already said this lets your bishop come out.
Right. So are there certain pieces that people like to prioritize, or is that just based off the flow of the game?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a super good question. I would say the most like the easiest way to think about it is have you heard of what they call like point values for your pieces? This is a really just okay, this is super this really distills it, and it kind of will motivate you to know what a good move or a bad move is. So imagine every pawn is worth 1 point. So this is worth 1 point, that's worth 1 point, blah blah blah. So the rule is the simple rule, and I mean it is a little bit of an oversimplification because you can have a piece that's really you need that exact piece in that moment, but the general rule is the pawns are worth 1 point. The pawns are worth 1 point. The knights and the bishops, both of these are worth 3 points. So each of these pieces is worth roughly 3 pawns. The rook is worth 5 points.
That makes sense.
The rook is better. Yeah, it's the rook is better, and the queen is worth 9 points.
Gotcha.
So the queen is super valuable. If you accidentally, I'm sure you've heard the term blunder. If you lose your queen, that's fucking really bad. Like most, like if you're like above any decent level of skill, like blundering the queen, like you can pretty much just resign on the spot. It's like it's terrible.
Okay, it's that bad.
Because it's just such a powerful piece. I mean, like literally the queen is so powerful. And she can do the most. She can cover a lot of ground. So by the way, do you know one of the reasons why the rook is considered, for example, more valuable than the bishop? And this is just kind of an interesting food for thought sort of thing.
No, I don't know why.
Okay, yeah, I'll just tell you. So this bishop, think about it, because he can move diagonally.
Right.
How does this bishop get to this square? By the way, this is a trick question.
He can't.
He can't ever.
Yeah.
That's right. And this bishop cannot get to this square or this square.
So they're stuck on the colors.
Yep, exactly. Okay. They are stuck on the square color that they started on. They can never go to the other square color. So
right. So rook can reposition.
Rook can reposition, and they're just really convenient to use. Like in what they call an endgame scenario, it's really common that a lot of the pieces kind of get traded off the board.
Yeah, and I feel like rook can put on so much pressure.
Definitely. Yeah. Rook can put on a ton of pressure, and also the rook can it's just really valuable towards the end of the game because you can put a rook behind. If a pawn gets to the edge of the board, it can turn into whatever it wants. It's like in checkers, you king me. In this game, it can turn into a queen. Usually you turn it into a queen.
Oh, I didn't know that. I feel like that's a super basic fact.
Yeah. It's really, and it's actually it's great because it's basically one of your win conditions. Like a lot of games, it's super common for a game to just come down to like a lot of pieces got off the board. You might have a king and a rook. The other guy's a king and a rook and a couple pawns, and it comes down to like pushing your pawn to the edge of the board. Because if this pawn gets to this square, you get to promote it to any other piece you want. Also, you're almost always going to make it a queen.
There's no reason not to, right? Unless it's like a niche
fucking situation. Okay. Exactly. So rooks are fucking awesome because you can park a rook behind it and just start pushing that pawn, and like
right. Yeah.
It's protecting it all the way. Like if their king tries to come take the pawn, like, well, they can't take it because the rook's guarding it. Also, you'll see situations like this a lot where like how do I drag? Can I do like a setup mode where I can drag pieces around? Well, what's an easy way to do this? Oh, well, okay. There's another great reason that also pertains to endgames. So this is just kind of a good thing to know, and ideally, probably Mio will teach you this tomorrow. Because I think that the best thing to have in early on is to at least just kind of know what your win conditions are, because you want to be able to checkmate your opponent. Like even if you're winning, you got to convert into a checkmate. In other words, you actually have to drive their king into a position where you can capture it. And like, do you know basically do you know the rule of the stalemate rule, where basically if the opponent cannot make a legal move, there's no squares that they can move their, usually they're down to just their king. If they can't go to, it's a draw. You know that.
Wait. Why is it a draw if they can't?
It's just the rule. So like, for example, Kush, do you know if I can go to setup mode where I can just drag pieces around? I want to show them that, because I feel like this is a pretty important rule, because otherwise you'll just drop games and you won't even, you know what I'm saying? Let me try. How do I do setup mode? I know it's here somewhere. Save, download. I want to just set position. Nice. Oh, F yeah. Can you see me just? Okay, I can go like. I think I can go like. Oh, that didn't work. Wait. Set position. How does this work? Ooh. How do I delete pieces? How do I delete pieces off the board? Did you see a rook just appear out of nowhere?
Yep.
That's sick. Okay. Nice. Okay, I'm in setup mode now. So let's say like the white king is the only, or the black king is the only piece he has left. Like white's just super winning for whatever reason, and you're in a position where it looks like you've driven him in a corner, and you've got a king. Just forget all these pieces at the bottom for a second, and you somehow end up in this position, and it's black's turn. Well, the rook and the rook's here. So where can black go here? They can't go here because the rook covers it. They can't go here because the rook covers it. And they wouldn't be able to take the rook because the king is guarding the rook.
Yeah. This
is actually a draw.
A draw?
This is a draw, yes. And the game will immediately say, oh, it's a draw. You can't make a move. This is a draw. That's why, and so one of the first things they kind of teach you as a beginner is there's like common checkmate patterns where, you know, you're winning and you actually need to checkmate them. And they're often super easy flowcharts. They're super easy flowcharts that you can just learn. And I'm going to teach you one of those right now, actually, because I think it's
that's
really
actually
easy.
what happened to me today when I played Caitlyn. Because on our like third game, I was just like, I had like a rook and king chasing her down, and I was like, what the fuck do I do? Because I was literally just perfect. I was like, I have to like pincer her, right? And then we were playing with a timer, right? And she was like, you don't even realize the timer is going, and I was like, what? Perfect. And it just drawed, yeah.
Oh, and then the time. Okay. So, perfect. You would want one rook and one king?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's let's do this. I'm gonna drag all these. I
had a couple pawns too, but they were like, I don't remember where they were.
Sure, that's fine. Well, that's actually important. So, because you said you had a couple pawns, I'm gonna show you the easiest checkmate flowchart you can possibly do, which is say you have you got a rook. Maybe you're in a position like this. They got a king. How do I want to do this? Okay, so I'm going to control the black king in this position. And how do I okay, now I want to get out of this mode so we can play like we're taking turns again. The box above that says legal moves only. Okay. Oh, I heard a noise. Perfect. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna do this endgame. I'm gonna play the black king. Okay, so you're white. What are you gonna do here?
I guess I want to reposition the rook to threaten.
You can do that. I'm gonna suggest the easiest thing we're gonna go for here is we got this pawn. We're gonna do the easiest checkmate. It is worth knowing. You can checkmate with just a king and a rook. Imagine this pawn's not there. You can literally checkmate with just those two. But we're gonna start with the easiest one. And the easiest flowchart checkmate would involve either two rooks or a rook and a queen. So let's get one of those first. So let's go ahead and let's try to get another queen. So it's your move. And remember, white's going up the board.
To get another. Oh, right. Because I didn't know about that. Okay. So I can only
play a
get
move.
one.
Perfect. Okay, I'm black. and I'm just gonna verify here. White can't make any moves. Okay, I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can keep moving my way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go here now. Before you make your next move, it looks like I'm attacking your rook. So do you need? Can you keep pushing your pawn, or do you need to do something with your rook? What do you think?
Wait. So is that situation gonna draw? Because so if you
the only draw will only happen if the black king literally can't make a move anymore. Like he's out, literally cannot make a legal move.
Oh, okay. Then I can just keep moving my pawn because if you take the rook, then I can just take you with my king after.
Exactly. The rook is guarded. The rook is guarded.
Yeah.
And by the way, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. By the way, the reason this is so convenient is because if the black king, instead of going for your rook, imagine where did he start over here or something? Imagine he said, I'm going to go take this pawn. I'm going to try to take this pawn. Okay, well, if you can visualize this, remember the squares the rook can go to?
Mm-hmm.
The rook is walling the king right now. Do you see that?
Right.
The king can never come to this top left zone.
That. Yeah.
Never. And he can't come through. He can't take the rook either because the king's guarding it. So you can just push this pawn merrily, and he can never fuck with it.
Right.
You see that?
Yeah. And that's a good visualization because I can like kind of remember how that looks.
Yeah. And this is basically the fundamentals of how to do a checkmate. Is you're gonna build a wall like this, and you're gonna kind of push him in a corner, and then he's gonna run it, and then you're gonna kill him.
It's just Mars neutral.
There you go. Dude, I heard you talking about. I remember that one time you were talking about fucking Pikachu, and you were like, "Okay, I can wall him." I was like, "Ooh, wall him."
Yeah. So I'm just gonna move my pawn.
Move your pawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It won't let me.
Oh, it's black's turn. Yep. Now you can do it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay, and then I mean, I've now realized as the black king, I'm fucking kind of fucked here. So
I'm gonna make this a queen,
and
I get to
Then you pick. There you go. So now you have a queen. So this is what we're gonna do. So the fundamentals of checkmating a king with these two pieces, and by the way, double rook is really similar. There's just a couple little baby differences, but the fundamental thing you're doing, it's like that scene in you seen Star Wars?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, there's a scene where they're stuck in a trash compactor.
Don't tell anyone, chat.
The walls are closing in on them. So you're gonna make a wall, and you're gonna fucking close the wall in on them. So okay, I'm black. I'm gonna come. Actually, white moves here. Whose move is it? It's white's move, right?
Wait, did you move after I made?
It's my move. Okay. There you go. So what you want to do? It's pretty simple. What you want to do is how do I kind of explain this? So yeah, the rook is basically covering, as you know, the rook is covering all these squares. Now, if you were to move the rook up one, like you go here, then the rook would cover these many squares. And let's say the king was on. Well, here I'm gonna let you play this for a bit. Just let me see how you handle this for a bit, and then I'm gonna start guiding you in the right direction.
Okay, just quick question. So is it in this situation, is it the king's objective to make it a draw?
Yeah, black is trying to make it a draw. Now, yeah, if it was a high-level player, high-level players would just resign here. Like, it's completely over.
Okay.
But he would love a draw here because he cannot win anymore. There's no way for black to win.
If I just execute right.
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
And a king cannot checkmate another king. So he literally cannot win. There is no, he could control both sides, and he could never win. The best he can hope for is a draw. Yeah. Okay. And if it ever comes down to just two kings on the board, that's an auto draw because they can't attack each other.
Well, so if I go up one, that's not great because then you take, and then my queen doesn't threaten that line.
No need to lose any pieces here. You don't have to drop any pieces. No need to take any risks. Yep, nope. You don't have to lose your knight. You don't have to lose your queen.
So I guess I would move the rook right one.
Okay, you could. Yep, you could.
Or wait, no. Over here.
That works. Yeah, that works. So the rook is being defended by the queen. I love that you saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to go here. Now, as white, so you've got a couple options here. Yeah, let's just play a couple moves and kind of see where this goes.
So play it out.
Yeah.
So if I move, So you're on white. My queen is in sight to take it, but I mean,
That would work, except then I would take your rook.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't need to do that. Okay. Here's what I think the best. Here's what I would do in this situation. So I'm thinking there's basically what I want to do is I'll show you actually what the setup ends up looking like. It's very simple. I would play either here, just get my rook out of there, or I would play here. It doesn't really matter. My first order of business is I just want to make sure my rook doesn't get taken. I'm going to play black. I'm kind of going to control both sides right now. So black's going to come a little closer. He still kind of wants to take that rook.
So it's okay to have space between the opposition king.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm so caught up on the idea of putting on pressure, but that is more likely to to turn into like a cornered situation.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, the thing is, well, the rook is a long-range piece, so the way the rook actually puts on pressure against a king
is through the range.
So,
right.
I mean, your intuition is correct, but yeah, that's how the rook does it. The rook has a ton of range, and the king has this kind of unique thing where the king can't move very far. So, the king is going to try to come closer to the rook to try to chase it, but then we're going to play this move, and this is where the setup starts. Okay, watch this. Okay, so now let's visualize where the king can even go now. So the queen, the rook is building this wall. So all these squares.
Diagonal left. Yeah.
King can't go left anymore. Now the queen is doing this. Can't go left at all. And the queen is building this wall. You see that?
Yep.
All these squares are fucking covered. He can't go left anymore. The king can never go left anymore. So where can you go? He can go here, here, or here. He has to go right. Three spots. So okay, maybe I go here. Let's say. And then with white, I'm like, okay, well, he can't go left anymore. Let's keep doing it.
Yep.
Now where can he go? Draw the arrows of where he can go.
He still can't go. I mean, he can go here.
Yep. Can go there. Yep.
And here.
Yep. And there's one more square.
And one more here.
That's right. That's right. He can go there because the rook doesn't do diagonal. That's right.
Right.
Okay. So now I'm thinking, well, shit. I'm getting Black King's kind of getting driven towards the right. He's having to go further right. So he's like, well, shit. Okay. Let's try going here. I'm gonna try to attack the rook. Maybe I can take this rook, and once I take the rook, I can start running left. You know, maybe I can escape. Okay. What would you play here as white? Now I think you're starting to see how this flowchart works.
Right. Wait, is it White's turn? Okay.
It is White's turn. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. I'm gonna let you play the rest of the game.
Okay, so you just want to keep up the wall.
I'm sure you're starting to see how this pattern works.
Well, but then wouldn't you be able to take me? But
what move are you thinking? Tell me what move you're thinking first.
Just one right.
One right here or here? Sorry. Here.
With
the rook.
Yeah.
I agree that if you move the rook here, I would take you as the king. I agree with that.
What was the rook the last one that we moved as white?
The last we moved was the rook.
Okay, so
we moved the queen 2 over, then we moved the rook 2 over.
Right. Okay, so then
perfect. Yep. Perfect. Can I take your rook though? Can I take your rook and start running left?
No, because then my queen will just take it.
Exactly. So I have to go here, and I can go here. So I'm like, well, shit. Okay, no, I'll try here. And you have one more move.
So.
And that's checkmate. Nice job.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's checkmate.
Okay.
You see it, right?
I see that it's patterned.
It's completely walled. Yeah. And all you did, look at the white pieces. We're gonna go back in time. Look at how they moved. So we built this wall.
Yeah.
With 2 pieces, and then we just hopscotched. Look at them. Look at how they moved.
Yep.
It's just this. And this is called a ladder mate. You can kind of envision like climbing up a ladder.
Right.
They call this ladder. It can be done. We did it kind of moving right here, but you can imagine. So I'll make a move. I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna play some random moves. Something like this. And you could do it this way too. Look at this. Look at this. Where can the king go? Can't go here. Can't go here. So he has to go. Oh, sorry. It's white's move. So I go here. Okay. King can't come to this line.
Nope.
King can't stand this line. He's got to go up.
Yep.
And then I go here. And then you go here. And then now this is an important one though. This would be where this could all fall apart. Because now can I continue this pattern on this specific instance, can I continue this pattern and go here?
No, because the rook can't act as a queen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The queen will protect the rook, but the rook. So you just want to make sure at the end. And there's a very easy way to resolve this. This is what I would do here. I'd go all the way over here.
Just put space. Okay.
Just fucking put space between them. And then he's going to go, oh, I'm going to take the rook. And then the rook says, nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? You just
and then you just reset.
And you reset. And you're still controlling these walls. Nothing changed. Yep. King's like, oh, I want to take him. No, it's checkmate.
He can still only move left. Yep.
Exactly.
And then check. Okay.
Okay.
And
by the way, the only difference between this and checkmating with 2 rooks, it's the exact same thing, except with 2 rooks. So you can imagine, let's go back. I'm going to take this guy off the board. And let me know, by the way, I know it just turned 7:30. If it's a hard stop, just let me know when you have to go.
Yeah, let's just go through the two-rook thing. And then
okay, and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to, how do I get this fucker off?
This is good, though, because if I have HungerBox in this position.
Exactly. And he might not know what to do to you. So
yeah,
this is going to be super helpful. And I'm really glad we taught you that if you move a pawn to the, it's like that's why pawns are good. Your goal with pawns is if you can ever get them to any of these squares.
And that way they are super valuable. Yeah.
Then yeah, they're going to turn into queens and then you can win with them. So this position, then if I do legal moves only, and then whose turn is it? Nice. Okay. So all you do here is in fact, I'm gonna let you play this one out because I think you're gonna be able to figure this one out. So you're white. I'm gonna try to play black here, and let's just play the position.
Okay, it's white's turn.
It's white's turn, and I'll give you the hint that it starts really similar to the thing we just did. There's only one subtle difference.
Okay, just gotta remember the pattern. Okay, so I'm just making a wall. So
yep, you're just making a wall.
Yeah. So you can move here. Can't go left. Okay, it's a little different.
Marmor in chat, yeah, that's true. Well, he's gonna have a much longer session with Mia Drag tomorrow, so I think Mio's gonna be able to teach him all that stuff. But I might show him that just on the way out, just so he sees that.
One sec, my memory is still bad.
No, you're good. It's not even about memory. It's more about visualization. So I'm gonna start drawing squares the king can't go to. Remember, the king cannot because the rook has so much reach. Because if the king goes to any of these squares, you would take him, right? Just visualize that. Also this way, right? Because the rooks go both ways.
So we're trying to push him right.
You can push him right, or you can push him up. It actually doesn't matter. Totally doesn't matter. Totally doesn't matter. Like once it comes down to this, you can push him down, you can push him left. But
okay.
I mean, it'd be faster to go up or right because he's to the up and right of you right now. So
right.
Yeah.
So
perfect. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now, so I'm going here. Okay, what is black trying to do here?
He's trying to take this rook.
He would love to take this rook. That's right.
Yep.
So
limit that by.
And remember, this is the only difference. Remember, the last example I showed you, this guy was a queen, and the queen was guarding this. So you could just say
he could take. Yeah.
Here he could take. That is the only difference between 2 rooks and a queen and a rook checkmate. That is the only difference. But I kind of showed you what to do here. You just exploit the fact that you got a ton of range. Perfect. In fact, that works really well. I would even do this. I would go even further. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
For some reason, I was just trying to keep my two pieces close to each other. I don't know why. But
you're probably thinking of the queen and the rook because the queen would guard it diagonally, right. And that makes sense. But it's 2 rooks now,
so I can just put the space.
You could put the space. By the way, in fact, you could have 1 rook here and 1 rook here, and they could march. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay, so that's how you're pinning them. Yeah.
Totally. So I'm going to play black here. I'm going to go here, and now you got to make a move for white.
Okay.
Nice, but the problem, remember, is
that I didn't attend to this one.
This guy was covering this wall, and you just let me out, so I can go there.
Oh, okay.
See that? He just came back. You got to make sure the wall behind you is covered. So I'm gonna go back one. That's fine. I mean, you can recover from that. It's not a big deal. But you basically would have to start over, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Kind of reposition your guys.
Yeah. So I could do this.
I love that. I love that. That's perfect. Okay, and then I'm like, oh, I want to take this rook. What are you gonna do?
Well, then I could. That's okay.
That works. That works. Okay, I'm gonna. Well, I got to make a move here. I'm gonna go here. Nice. Again, threatening to take your rook. Perfect.
Well.
Nice. And I mean, I'll give you a hint there. It actually, if you were trying to decide which of the two rooks to move up, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. There's no difference.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to have to, at the end though, you're going to have to get a little bit, because I think the way you're doing it right now, you're going to have to
draw.
It's going to, well, you're going to let the king out. Well, we'll see. Just a first player move.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, this is actually the way you're doing is totally fine. And then now it's completely straightforward.
Yep.
Perfect. And that's checkmate.
That's right.
That's checkmate. Okay. Rook covers all these. This rook covers all these squares. There's no square the king can go to that is safe. And it's checkmate. Perfect.
Gotcha.
You could even do that one faster, by the way. You kind of did this thing where you were... Imagine you're climbing stairs and like... So you did like this. You're kind of going like... Imagine you've got... How do I put this? Well, here's how you did it. So you went like this, right? Where you did this guy up, this guy up, this guy up, this guy up. That works, but I'll show you an even faster way to do it. Which is right here. What I would actually do is just this. And then, when the king comes here, you just go, boop, boop. And you can do that pattern with the queen where you do 2 steps every time. It doesn't matter. It's just a little faster.
That's faster. Okay.
It's just a little faster, you know. And all you got to remember when you're doing it, doesn't matter too much. All you got to remember when you're doing this checkmate is that if the king ever gets really close to you, how do I set that up? Like, just make some, I'll just let the king come closer. So, you know, he comes here. All you got to remember is if the king ever gets really close, break your pattern, okay, and just go to the other side of the board. And then he's like, well, what about this rook? And I would just go to the other side of the board and then start over.
Yep.
And then he's like, okay, I got to go this way now. And then checkmate.
Yeah. So is there going to be a timer for my show match with the HBox?
There will, but you're going to have plenty of time. You're going to have plenty of time.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have plenty of time. I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you how to set it up. But just to get you thinking, I'm going to show you one more very common checkmate pattern that is important, and then you can just use this like tomorrow when you have your session with Mio. And by the way, I'm also, just so you know, I'm also like free all day tomorrow. So like, I mean, if you want to do anything and earlier in the day too, like I'm totally down. Like before you talk
I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, just I don't know, it might be fun. But the other one that's really common, I'm going to go back into setup mode here, is do this. If you have a queen, I'm just going to show you how this is also the other really common checkmating pattern is
with just a queen.
King and queen, just a queen. Yep. And for this one, well, that's not legal. For this one, whose turn is it? Black. The way this one always ends up is I'm just going to here, I'll set it up. I'll just set it up just to show you what it looks like. Whose turn is it? White. Right here. So this is a checkmate. Anytime the king is on the edge of the board, on literally any square, anytime the king is on the edge of the board, and the queen is kind of like pinning him to the wall like this, and the king is guarding the queen, that's a checkmate. Because the queen covers this square, all these squares, this square, this square, this square, this square. So if you draw all the squares that the queen is covering that are important, which she's covering all these squares. This square, this square, this square, this square, this square. So the king can't go anywhere, and then your king is guarding her. So he can't take the queen. So this is a super common checkmate. You see this pattern all the time. If a queen
to follow the queen.
Exactly. And if you can deliver checkmates, it doesn't have to be at the end. Like if there are other pieces, for example, if white had a let's see, I'll whoops, I'm gonna move the king away. Imagine, you know, whatever. Maybe there's more action going on. I don't know. Whatever. There's some whatever the hell's going on. But this was the situation right here, and I don't know. Whatever. I just set up some bullshit position, but you know, say it's white to move here, and does this mean white to move? White to move, legal moves only. Like right here, if white went like this would be checkmate, and the game would end because the queen is being guarded by this knight.
By the knight, okay.
And the queen is pinning the king to the wall, and
right.
and he can't go anywhere. And this is a really common. I would say this is the other extremely common checkmating pattern that you just kind of have to know is that the queen kind of pin the king to the wall. Actual chess people would get mad at me for using the word pin in this way because pin actually means something else, but probably Mio or me will teach you that tomorrow. But this is super common, and yeah, you can kind of visualize just all the squares being taken away from him. And
so knight guarding queen, then king guarding queen, most common.
Not even, well, I guess the point I'm trying to make is anything guarding the queen. Like,
anything.
It doesn't even matter what's guarding the queen. It's just that if there's a queen and she's one square away from the king at the edge of the board, and it's being guarded by anything, it could be a knight, it could be a rook. So this would be checkmate, or this would be checkmate. You see that the rook guarding the king.
Yep.
Or you could have a bishop here. This would be checkmate. This is just a super duper common.
So the whole guarding principle is really crucial.
Super crucial, yeah. Especially when it comes to checkmating, because if you're not guarding your pieces when you're checkmating, the king can take them. But if they're being guarded, you know, if it's any other piece, like if you're trying to kill, if you're trying to take, kill's the wrong word. If you're trying to take any other piece, like, well, the opponent can make the decision of like, well, okay, I'll, if it was literally any other piece, if this was a queen, for example, that was here instead of the king, well, I mean, they could make the decision to take your queen instead, but the king cannot. The king, if they lose the king, the game ends. So they don't have that luxury. The king just cannot take that piece if it's being guarded. And it's, super duper common.
So you can play fairly aggressive with the queen so long as it's guarded properly.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know how early. Is that good to do like even early on?
I would say that there's a general rule of thumb that you don't bring your queen out too early. Okay. And the reason for that is but again, this is a general rule of thumb. Rules are made to be broken. There's some legit openings where you do. But the reason you don't is because the queen is extremely valuable. So if the opponent attacks the queen, you have to save her, basically. So I mean, I'll just show you how do I go back to the very beginning of the game if I want to. Okay. So white to move, legal moves only. So yeah, like there are just like I'll just play some very common kind of opening moves. So this is actually a legit opening. There's an opening that goes like this. And so this is the kind of thing about moving the queen out early. She gets a lot done. She's attacking a lot. She's covering a lot of ground. She covers a lot of squares. But so white here very commonly will play this move. And the knights, as you can see, the knight is kind of attacking the queen.
Yep.
Now, if this was a pawn or it was any other piece, you could just move it. Or sorry, so you could just ignore it. Or if this was like if this was a pawn, you could just play a move like this and defend it, right? You could just defend because this pawn would defend.
But it's your queen.
Yeah. But it's your queen, so you actually have to move it. Like this. I mean, great. You took my knight, but I got your queen. So like
it's over.
3 points to 9. It's over. Yeah, that's a terrible trade. Terrible deal. So the thing about moving the queen out early is you get some shenanigans with her for sure, and there are players that will kind of use her a lot in the opening. But in general, people, the conventional wisdom is bring her out later unless you really know what you're doing. And by really know what you're doing, I mean you're playing an opening that requires you to move the queen out early. Because otherwise they're just gonna bully the queen around. And imagine I'm playing this and the queen is like, okay, I'll go here. This is a bad move, by the way. And then I go here, and oh look, now my bishop can take the queen. And it's like, oh shit, I gotta move the queen again. Oh, maybe I'll go here this time. And then white goes here.
Right.
And now the queen's being attacked again. And what the fuck is the queen doing? Like, oh, I gotta go somewhere else now. I go here. So now white's getting all their pieces out. The knights are all of a sudden, look, this knight's covering this square. This knight's covering these squares. He's got a pawn that's controlling some space in the middle, and black isn't covering shit. So like, black
nothing.
It accomplished nothing. Yep.
Yeah.
And the way they word this is you're giving them free development. They're literally developing for free. They talk about turns in chess. It's like spending a turn or spending what they call a tempo, but that just means a turn. It's like turns are valuable, and black is just giving white free turns.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, you're gonna hear more about that tomorrow. I'll let you go, but super. Cool. Yeah, it's just one of the kind of the fundamental concepts that you'll.
This was super useful though.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that. I hope you have a good time.
I'm gonna try to play tonight before my lesson.
Totally. Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Just get some games and see what you notice. See if you can get one of those. See if you can get one of those checkmates in.
Yeah, I definitely want to execute that properly before, like, execute it myself without having to be walked through it with it, just like before the show match. So I think that's probably going to be really important.
Totally. You know, it's actually beautiful. Is Mango had a coaching session yesterday. He actually just learned that pattern yesterday from his coach. He just learned
awesome.
And he was saying, as the coach was telling him, he was like, oh, well, it feels different when you got to do it in a real match. And then like 2 games later, after he learned the pattern, he had the position and he was able to just do it. And he was like, oh shit, like it worked. And he was like, oh fuck, it worked. And yeah, it feels great because that's kind of one of the cool things of chess is like when you learn a technique or something like that, it's often you'll find ways to apply it almost immediately, and it feels really good. So
that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
cool, man. Well, say hi to Caitlin for me.
I will. I'll probably play her tonight.
Fuck yeah.
And
fuck yeah.
Yeah. What time is the show match? For me?
I think you got the short answer is 9 p.m. Eastern time. The slightly longer answer is it's after all the matches are done for the day, which we schedule to the best of our ability. It'll probably be around 9 p.m. Eastern.
Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah. Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. But you know, it's we're basically running 6 tourney matches starting at 5 p.m. and each tourney match is like, you know, it was probably gonna take 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. So but we'll let you know. I mean, I'll probably even message you like an hour before, however long before you gotta get ready or whatever.
Well, I gotta run, but thank you, Toph.
Fuck yeah, dude. This was super fun.
Yeah.